Hi.
Hi, so I talked to you on the way in.
Yes, and now I know who you are because I recall you're James Fallow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're my father's favorite economist. he wanted me to really interview one. He's been waiting for decades for me to interview you. You write for the Atlantic, right?
I do, yeah.
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 Okay, can I ask you a couple of questions?
For a couple of minutes, yeah. So, yep.
Okay. Should we bomb Syria?
I'm against it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think that there has to be a broader, if it were done internationally, if you get the same kind of coalition you got even for the Libya operation, I think then it could be valuable. But just as a unilateral U.S. effort, I don't support it.
Okay. Do you think that the government should protect citizens against environmental hazards?
In general, sure. I used to live in China, and the environment is a disaster there.
And should the government protect peaceful citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
It all, sure. I mean, there are, and I see where this train of questioning is going, so yes.
Okay. Can you live well if other people can legally gang up on you and forcefully take your money?
The world is more complex. I mean, there are, I'm guided often by Reinhold Niebuhr, who is saying that you recognize there is a world of tragedy and error, and you try to find the things you can do something about.
Should the government redistribute its citizens' wealth by forcefully taking money from some citizens through taxes in order to provide free goods and services for others?
I'm in favor of progressive taxation, as has been part of the U.S. Since which was one of the amendments in the early 1900s.
Is the government protecting the taxpayers when it forcefully takes their money in order to give free goods and services to other people?
Government exists for many reasons. I view taxes as a legitimate part of government.
So you would call that forceful extraction by the government protecting them?
No, you would call it that. I wouldn't.
Do you think people are forced to pay taxes?
Every civilized country has a way of raising money for collective goods.
So people are forced to pay taxes, right?
It's part of the trade-off that goes into modern life. So I think that probably is enough.
So forceful extraction you would call protection? So if the government didn't protect them, then they could do what they want with the money?
I believe I believe that the U.S. Constitution was enacted in the late 1700s as a way of balancing the liberties and the obligations of people so they could live harmoniously. So I believe in the balance imposed by the U.S. Constitution.
So sometimes you think the government should not protect peaceful citizens against people that want to use force to take their money?
I'm not going to answer the convolutions that you have. I'm telling you what I say. I think that the United States has a reasonable balance of how it finds ways to guarantee people's liberties and provide for the common well-being.
But
which was the point of the Constitution.
Okay. Well, but you did agree that people are forced to pay the taxes, right?
It's the law. There are laws.
Right. And if you don't, the government will use force against you, right?
As it will for any other law.
Right.
Whether it's
it's
public nudity, whether it's whatever.
Exactly. So all laws are enforced. All laws are enforced, including the tax laws. So people are forced to pay taxes. So how is it that the taxpayers are being protected when they are being forced to give the money to someone else? Is that how? Why would you call that protection?
Say this one more time. From the time of the Constitution onwards, there's been the idea that there are public duties and functions, whether it's preventing fires or having roads, that need to be publicly paid for.
But the federal government couldn't even tax directly when the Constitution was written.
That's why, that's why the Articles of Confederation era was a failure, and they had to redo it with the Constitution.
The original Constitution didn't permit the federal government to even tax the individuals directly, so they couldn't redistribute their wealth.
It had other means of levying
yes,
income.
but to everyone without redistributing. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Fallow, and I'm going to be happy to tell my father that finally I was able to interview you.
Yeah, thank you. So, thank you. And where does your father live?
In Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. He's a law professor in Puerto Rico.
Okay, well, give him my best wishes.
He really admires you a lot, and he said please interview him if you ever get a chance.
Good. And so, please give him my best wishes. And again, I am a believer in the Constitution and the balance of rights and responsibilities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.